When my dad remarried, his new wife told me to forget my real mom and that she was the only one now. I stayed silent at first, until her lies turned into betrayal. That's how she tore my family apart. When my dad first told me he was dating again, I remember sitting at the kitchen table, staring at the chipped wooden surface like it was about to give me the answers I didn't want to hear. My parents had been divorced for 5 years, and although I told myself I was fine, a small part of me still believed that one day they might reconcile. Hearing him say, "I've met someone new," felt like a punch I didn't see coming. I forced a smile, because that's what I always did with my dad. "That's great," I muttered, my voice betraying me with its tremble. Her name was Vanessa. She was younger than my dad, maybe in her mid-30s, while Dad was pushing 50. When I first met her, she swept into our house like a burst of perfume and laughter. She had perfect hair, nails that gleamed, and a smile that looked rehearsed in the mirror. I wanted to believe she was nice. I wanted to believe Dad deserved happiness, but something in the way she looked at me, quick and assessing, made me feel like I was being weighed and measured. At dinner that night, she leaned close to my dad, whispering things in his ear and giggling like a teenager. Every time she did it, Dad's face lit up in a way I hadn't seen in years. I should have been happy for him, but instead, I felt my chest tighten. "Your mom must be so proud of you," Vanessa said suddenly, turning her attention to me. It wasn't the words themselves. It was the way she said, "your mom." Like my mom was a relic, someone she already planned to erase. I tried to brush it off, but over the next few weeks, her presence in our lives grew. What started as weekend visits turned into her moving in. I came home from school one day to find half my mom's old dishes gone, replaced with sleek, modern plates that looked like they belonged in a magazine. When I asked my dad about it, he just shrugged. Vanessa thought the old ones were chipped. It was time for a change. Time for a change. That phrase echoed in my head. The next blow came when I noticed the framed photos disappearing. The ones of me and Mom at the beach, me and Dad at my middle school graduation, even the goofy family photo with all 3 of us wearing Santa hats. One by one, they were replaced with glossy shots of Vanessa and Dad at restaurants, at the park, even a selfie of her kissing his cheek. I confronted her once, my voice shaking. "Why are you taking Mom's pictures down? Those are memories. They matter." She tilted her head, that fake smile glued to her face. "Sweetheart, it's not about erasing anyone. It's about creating new memories. Families evolve. You'll understand one day." Sweetheart, the word dripped with condescension. Dad overheard, and instead of defending me, he sided with her. "She's right, honey. It's time we move forward." That night I cried into my pillow, feeling like I was already being pushed out of my own home. But it didn't stop there. Vanessa started commenting on everything I did, the clothes I wore, the music I listened to, even how I talked. "Maybe you'd look prettier with straightened hair," she said one morning as I was rushing to school. "Your room's always such a mess. Do you really think colleges want someone who can't even keep their space tidy?" At first, I ignored it, but little by little, her words carved themselves into my skin. The worst part was how my dad changed. He used to laugh with me, tell me stories about his childhood, help me with homework even after long shifts. But with Vanessa around, he became distant. Every time I tried to talk to him, she was there, interrupting, redirecting. If I asked to spend time alone with him, she'd guilt-trip us both. One Friday night, I asked if we could do our traditional pizza and movie night, something we'd done since I was little. Vanessa chimed in before Dad could answer. "Oh, but I already planned a wine tasting for us. You wouldn't want your dad to miss out, would you?" Dad glanced at me, guilt flickering in his eyes, but then he nodded at her. "We can do the movie another time, kiddo." Another time never came. The final straw came during Thanksgiving. Mom had invited me to spend it with her, but Dad insisted I stay with him and Vanessa. "It's important we celebrate together as a family," he said. Family, that word tasted bitter. At dinner, Vanessa sat at the head of the table, carving the turkey like she owned the place. She raised her glass of wine and said, "To new beginnings, to our family." I clenched my fists under the table. As the evening dragged on, she brought up Mom. "It must be hard having divorced parents," she said sweetly, then smirked. "But don't worry, I'll make sure you have everything you need. I'm like a second mom to you now." The table fell silent. My throat closed up, but rage burned inside me. "You're not my mom," I snapped. Her smile faltered for the first time. Dad shot me a warning look, but I couldn't stop. "You'll never be my mom. Stop pretending." The rest of dinner was icy. Afterward, Dad pulled me aside, his voice tight with anger. "Why would you embarrass her like that? She's trying so hard." "So hard to erase Mom? To replace her? Dad, can't you see what she's doing?" But he didn't listen. He never did. That night, I lay awake, realizing I was losing him. Vanessa wasn't just moving into our house. She was moving into every part of our lives, every part of him. And I had no idea just how deep her betrayal would cut. Because weeks later, I discovered something that would shatter everything. I wish I could say that after Thanksgiving things got better, that maybe Dad realized how toxic Vanessa was. But the truth? Things spiraled so fast I barely recognized my own life. It started with small lies. At first, I thought I was imagining them. Vanessa would tell my dad I was rude when I hadn't said a word, or that I skipped chores when I had proof I'd done them. Dad, who used to trust me, suddenly gave me these disappointed looks, like I'd failed him. "Why can't you just try harder with her?" he'd ask, exhaustion in his voice. "Because she's trying to erase me," I wanted to scream. Then came the betrayal that still makes my stomach twist. One afternoon, I came home from school and heard voices in the kitchen. Vanessa was on the phone, speaking in hushed tones. "Yes, the account will be in my name soon." He's too distracted to notice. Honestly, it's like taking candy from a child. I froze in the hallway. "Account? My dad's account?" Before I could process it, she laughed. A cold, sharp laugh. "He thinks I love him. Pathetic. Once I secure everything, I'll be gone. But until then, I'll keep playing perfect wife." My blood ran cold. She wasn't just after his heart. She was after everything. His money, his trust, our family. I wanted to burst in, confront her, tell Dad right away. But fear stopped me. What if he didn't believe me? He hadn't believed me before when I tried to warn him. Vanessa was too good at twisting the truth. So I made a plan. Over the next week, I started recording things on my phone, her cruel comments, her manipulations. One night, I even caught her whispering to someone on the phone again. "Give me 2 months, by then the house will be mine too." I saved everything, building my own secret case. But then, she struck first. One evening, Dad called me into the living room. Vanessa sat on the couch, fake tears glistening in her eyes. "She said I was a horrible person," Vanessa whispered, her voice breaking. "She told me she wished I would die." My jaw dropped. "That's a lie. I never said that." Dad's face hardened. "Why would she make something like that up?" "Because she wants me gone," I shouted, panic rising. "Dad, she's manipulating you. I heard her on the phone. She's using you." Vanessa gasped, clutching her chest like I'd stabbed her. "How can you say that? After everything I've done to make this home warm for you." And just like that, Dad's trust in me shattered. "I don't know what's gotten into you," he said, his voice trembling with anger. "But I won't let you destroy this family." Destroy this family, as if I wasn't part of it. That night, I packed a bag and went to Mom's house. She held me while I sobbed, whispering, "We'll figure this out. She can't fool him forever." But weeks passed, and Vanessa tightened her grip. Dad stopped calling as often. When he did, his tone was clipped, distant, like he was speaking to a stranger. Then everything exploded. One afternoon, I was at Mom's when there was a frantic knock on the door. It was our neighbor from Dad's street. "You need to come, now, it's about your father." My heart nearly stopped. We rushed over, and what I saw made my blood boil. Police cars lined the driveway. Dad sat on the porch, his head in his hands. Vanessa stood nearby, crocodile tears streaming down her face. "What happened?" I demanded. An officer turned to me. "We received reports of suspicious withdrawals from your father's accounts. It looks like someone's been stealing large sums of money. We traced the transactions." He gestured to Vanessa. "All in her name." Dad lifted his head, eyes red. "Tell me it's not true," he begged her. But Vanessa dropped the act. She straightened, smirk tugging at her lips. "You are too easy. You wanted love so badly, you never questioned anything. Pathetic." The silence that followed was deafening. The officers led her away in handcuffs. She didn't even look ashamed. She looked victorious, like she'd enjoyed every second of the con. I expected relief, vindication, but instead, all I felt was grief. Because even though she was gone, the damage she left behind was permanent. Dad's savings were nearly drained. His trust was shattered, not just in her, but in everyone, including me. He couldn't even meet my eyes. "I should have listened to you," he whispered one night when I visited him. His voice was broken, fragile. "I let her blind me, and I hurt you in the process." Tears stung my eyes. I just wanted my dad back. From that point on, things were different. Dad moved slower, like the weight of betrayal had crushed part of him. But slowly, with time, we began to rebuild. We had dinners again, just the two of us. He apologized more than once, though the guilt never seemed to leave him. And me? I learned something painful but powerful. Family isn't defined by who walks into your life with promises. It's defined by who stays when everything falls apart. Vanessa tried to replace my mom, erase me, and destroy my dad. But in the end, all she destroyed was herself. And while it will take years to heal, one thing is certain. No one will ever make me doubt my own worth again.